So the line is that I'm a dictator, but I stop crime. So a lot of people say, you know, if that's the case, I'd rather have a dictator. But I'm not a dictator. I just know how to stop crime.
He's not a dictator, but a lot of people are saying they want a dictator. Again, like I said, it's not the first time.
As you all know, Chicago's a killing field right now. And they don't acknowledge it. And they say, we don't need him. Freedom, freedom. He's a dictator. He's a dictator. A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator. I don't like a dictator. I'm not a dictator. I'm a man with great common sense and I'm a smart person.
He's not a dictator, but people say that they want a dictator. Dictators usually say things like, I can do anything I want because I'm a dictator.
I don't love, not that I don't have the right to do anything I want to do. I'm the president of the United States. If I think our country's in danger, and it is in danger in these cities, I can do it. No problem going in and solving, you know, his difficulties. But it would be nice if they'd call and they'd say, would you do it?
I have the right to do anything that I want to do. Do you guys remember when that dictator Barack Obama said that? Do you remember when that sleepy Joe Biden said that when they were overreaching with the government? But the guy openly says it. Nobody wants a dictator. I mean, they said they want a dictator, but maybe I don't really want to be a dictator. But I am president, and that means I can do anything that I want to do. Do you guys think he's joking still? Because I didn't think he was joking when he said that on the campaign trail. When Sean Hannity asked him, they're saying you want to be a dictator. Isn't that crazy, Donnie? Isn't that crazy?
They want to call you a dictator. You use the words, I am your retribution. And now before that, you said if you've been wronged, and you used other words as well. But I want to be very, very clear on this. To be clear, do you in any way have any plans whatsoever, if reelected president, to abuse power, to break the law, to use the government to go after people?
You mean like they're using right now? So, in the history of our country...
I want to go back to this one issue, though, because the media has been focused on this and attacking you.
Yeah.
Under no circumstances, you are promising America tonight, you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Except
Look,
what?
he's going crazy. Except for day one.
Meaning?
I want to close the border, and I want to drill.
That's
drill,
not. That's
drill.
That's not.
No, no.
That's not.
We love this guy. He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No, no, no. Other than day one."
And he goes, "I'm gonna be dictator on day one, but only for one day." I think he waited until August to then fully say that he's going to be a dictator 3 times. And then describe how he can do anything that he wants to do because he's the president. You know what else these dictators do? They surround themselves with ass kissers who can't wait to drop to a knee and find whichever aspect of his ass that hasn't been kissed yet and get their tongue nice and wet and roll it all over it. In fact, there was a room full of these idiots just yesterday that couldn't wait. They were in line. Some of them wrote down their declarations of how much they love this piece of trash.
If you all haven't stopped by the Department of Labor, Mr. President, I invite you to see your big, beautiful face on a banner in front of the Department of Labor, because you are really the transformational president of the American worker, along with the American flag and President Roosevelt.
Working for this government, for you, is the greatest honor of my life. I tell it to everybody, and I really do feel that way, and I thank you.
You have breathed life back into the profession of law enforcement. Your respect for law enforcement is so incredible. It's making a difference.
This is just such a great opportunity, really, to recognize your leadership as a true champion for working people.
Well, everyone knows there's no stronger advocate for hardworking American families than you.
Well, Mr. President, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to work for you.
Our country has never been so secure thanks to you. You have brought us back from the edge.
And there's only one thing I wish for, that Nobel Committee finally gets its act together and realizes that you are the single finest candidate since the this Nobel Award was ever talked about, to receive that reward.
It's pretty great to celebrate Labor Day with a builder who loves labor. The great Trump projects have come from the very men and women we're going into this weekend to celebrate.
Thank you for saving college football, by the way. We're all very grateful.
Midas Touch put together that montage with the glowing music behind it of Trump's cabinet. That was a cabinet meeting. That was a cabinet meeting. The Scott Bessent had his ass kissing written down. It was an assignment. We pay these assholes to walk around and think of ways to praise this guy like he's Kim Jong-un. That's who he said he always wanted to be like. I remember that. But Steve Witkoff, I'm not sure which one of them took the cake. I couldn't even get to all of them. Who knows what Pete Hegseth said? But Sean Duffy, it's great to work on Labor Day with a guy who's big on labor as we lose tons of jobs, and he fires the people who were part of compiling the job data because he doesn't want to look like what he really is. Because I want to see more of what Steve Witkoff said. That was off the chart. Steve Witkoff, if you guys don't know, was the special envoy to Russia. Think about what did he say now? He's a special envoy sent to Russia to negotiate the end of this invasion that Vladimir Putin and Russia had into Ukraine. You know, that war that's still going on that Donald Trump said he's going to end after one day. That's as he's supposed to get the Nobel Peace Prize for not ending anything. Oh, and as we still massacre and destroy innocent folks in Palestine, you know, all those wars that he stops. Here's Steve Witkoff, who was also running Russian propaganda every time he left a meeting with Vladimir Putin. Here he is again.
And there's only one thing I wish for, that Nobel Committee finally gets its act together and realizes that you are the single finest candidate since the this Nobel Award was ever talked about to receive that reward. Beyond your success is game-changing out in the world today. And I hope everybody one day wakes up and realizes that.
And the rest of them are like, that was, man, pretty good. Good job, Steve, man. I couldn't have gone that low. These guys have like families, I assume, you know, husbands, wives, kids. Man, isn't it embarrassing? You'd have to go to school the next day and be like, man, my dad, Steve, did you see him yesterday? This guy must get his ass kicked in school. Be like, your dad's a bitch. Wow. Did you see him on TV? Talking about Nobel Peace Prizes, and he wishes other folks to get their act together. Like, can you bring in his knee pads for me? The warning signs were there. Donald Trump said, I want people to act like this around me. This is when he was not president. Oh, when he was president the first time. This is what he was looking for. This is what he was so mad didn't happen in his first term.
Are we close to seeing Mr. Kim here at the White House?
Could happen. I mean,
they talked about that yesterday.
I would have him. Yeah, I think it's something that could happen. Yeah. Hey, he's the head of a country, and I mean, he is the strong head. Mm-hmm. Don't let anyone think anything different. Right. He speaks, and his people sit up at attention. I want my people to do the same.
Oh, the strong head. Donald Trump definitely is talking about the strong head of the country that he wants to be like. People sit up in attention like what we just watched happen in that cabinet meeting. Is he a fascist yet? He always praised him. He always said he loves every one of them in the world. He loved him some Viktor Orban. He loved him some Vladimir Putin. He loved him some Kim Jong-un. And who did he first attack when he came into office this time? Every ally that he could think of. Invasions and taking over and making Canada the 51st state. Greenland is next on the list. Maybe Vladimir Putin can keep the land that he invaded and territory that he took over, because that's the policies of this guy. He thinks the same way. Here, I want to go to Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins. She was one of the folks that was in that room kissing ass. This is what she then also had to say about what this movement is. Again, this is a president of the United States with a cabinet that's supposed to work for the people and make their lives better. Listen to the language that she used.
Part of this effort to represent the farmers, the ranchers, the agriculture industry at this moment in time, which I do believe we're in a revolution. 1776 was the first one, 1863 or so with Abraham Lincoln was the second. This is the third, with Donald Trump leading the way, and we are saving America.
She's supposed to be representing the farmers and the ranchers and these agricultural businesses, right? The same farmers and the agricultural businesses that are going out of business, that are filing bankruptcy at rates we hadn't seen before, doubling the pace from a year ago in the same time period. But she's leading a revolution with Donald Trump. It's almost like they had this whole thing planned from the beginning. And it's not a mistake that she told Donald Trump that he's leading this revolution against all these folks under the guise that they are in the middle of this golden era of pennilessness and businesses going out. Again, revolution.
I come full circle in this response and just want to encourage you with some substance that we are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
That guy, Kevin Roberts, one of the architects of Project 2025 that they said people were freaking out about during the campaign. This American Revolution that his agriculture secretary, who's that? The labor secretary. What's her? Brooke Rollins, agricultural secretary. They're in the middle of that same American Revolution that's going to be bloodless if people like these activists that we don't want to pay attention to stay out of the way, or else it's going to get bloody. Who are the violent ones? Who are the criminals? Who hates this country? That was before this guy was put into office. That same guy was very excited with the hand-picked vice presidential running mate in J.D. Vance. They picked every one of these folks. These are the machines behind all the propaganda and the bullshit and the glowing talk and the golden statues and the gold-plated stuff in the Oval Office. All that. These guys are serious. They were serious then, and they're now seeing all of their plans come into fruition. But Donald Trump had no idea about that. He just has an ag secretary that's speaking the same language as this guy who wants to murder Americans was speaking. During that little, ass-kissing session, Brooke Rollins also talked about his big, beautiful face over the edge of the Labor Department. Yeah, Department of Labor building. I don't know if you guys had seen that. Here's a picture of that. This is the United States of America, bro. Look at this. Look at this. America's workers first. America's workers are losing work. American companies are losing money. Foreign businesses and countries are trading around us. But as long as he puts a big draping picture of his face over the side of a building, suddenly none of that is real anymore. I pointed out Kim Jong-un. Let me show you guys this. Isn't it weird? It's weird how people like Kim Jong-un and North Korean leadership put pictures of their faces on the sides of buildings because they're dictators. And they want to, every time anybody walks around and by it, you realize, I'm not sure which one of these leaders are. It's multiple. There's a lineage of these guys. So I don't know. Maybe that's Kim Jong-il. And then maybe his dad. I don't know. But it's the same idea. Is he a dictator yet?